let's talk a little bit about the Boston Red Sox. Now, we're going to be very careful about what we say because this channel actually just became monetized. We don't want to do anything to piss off Business Daddy. So we're going to be very, very careful about how we pronounce this. Red Sox slugger, all-star for the Red Sox, Jaren Duran is serving a 2-game suspension for uttering a homophobic slur during Sunday's game at Fenway Park. Great video by italkstudios. He broke down how the Oakland Athletics broadcaster used the wrong N-word when referring to the Negro League Museum and lost his job. And then there was the Reds announcer that didn't realize he had a hot mic and made a homophobic slur towards the city of San Francisco. He lost his job there. But when a baseball player gets caught with a hot mic and says it, nothing happened to him. And so now MLB stepping in and giving him a 2-game suspension on this. I don't know, man. What are you thinking on it when it comes to the discipline on this? Where do you think it falls? Do you think this is necessary? Do you think it's not necessary? Do you think this is an overreaction? What's your take on all this?
I think it's 100% necessary. I mean, you catch anybody saying things like this on a hot mic anywhere, you got to think a lot more of this probably gets said and notioned towards fans than is caught on mics. And the fact is you're a professional athlete, you're going to get heckled. Not that that's an excuse, because as a fan, you have to remember that these are still human beings that are just playing a sport. They're just going to work just like you would any other day.
I do think he's allowed to turn around and yell profanities back.
You absolutely should. It's the choice of your profanities is the key there.
Yeah. I think if he got caught saying the F-bomb on a live mic, I don't think nothing would have happened.
It's nothing.
He might have had to say, sorry, didn't
you could have called somebody about 40 choice words, but the one that he chose to use was the failure in this whole thing.
Absolutely. I agree with this suspension. I think a 2-game suspension is enough to be like, hey, look,
we did something.
You definitely would not have said that if you knew the mic was live. If you were that close to a mic, you definitely would not have said that. So this suspension is definitely, I think, warranted. This kind of suspension is perfect. It could have been a little longer, in my opinion. I think a 5-game suspension would have been more warranted. Makes you realize that MLB is taking, and the Red Sox are taking, a strong stance against this kind of language.
Right.
But at the same time, not necessarily tanking the Red Sox season. But the reason why I bring this up is I actually want to talk about how this connects to the person we talked about last week and our boy, Trevor Bauer.
Love Trevor Bauer.
So Trevor Bauer, if you didn't watch it, we did a video last week where we talked about him breaking the record in the Mexican League with 19 strikeouts. We'll link that video in the description below. Check it out. And this kind of ties into what we were talking about last week. So the reason why we think Trevor Bauer is not in the MLB right now is because he probably just won't put down the camera and wants to continue to do the vlog and wants to continue to be in that. And I think that's a big reason for why a lot of players have a problem with him in the locker room right now, is because of this exact reason. They don't want to accidentally be caught picking their nose, doing something where they become a meme on the internet, or in this case, get potentially suspended because they're having a conversation which they thought was private, isn't, because there's a camera pointed right at them.
And Trevor Bauer's wearing a mic the whole game.
Like, what if they're out to a team dinner and they happen to slip and say something, or they say something in the locker room and Bauer's got a camera there where he's just talking about his new cleats or something, and they pick it up in the background, and then your career's over. I think that's the main reason why players don't want to have Trevor Bauer on their team. I think that's
you can't blame him for that reason. You can blame them because Trevor Bauer is a talent that can help an MLB team somewhere.
Well, yeah. I mean, we do have players that came out and defended him. Mookie Betts was one of them. Said, yeah, you should be on a team right now. Served a suspension, regardless of what you think about it. He did put the time in, and he should be allowed back on a team. But honestly, I think this is kind of the reason when teams ask, hey, do you want Trevor Bauer? I think this is the main reason. They're like, no, I don't want a loaded mic that can catch me saying something I'm not supposed to. Odds are we've probably said something on these airways that 10 years from now is probably going to get us canceled. So it's really kind of hard to know where that line is. And that's probably what's really kind of keeping him out of the league. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I think that very well could be the case. I think that could be pretty easily remedied from the Trevor Bauer camp, though. If that's an absolute hard line in the sand that you want to continue going, I think all you have to do is agree that whatever videos you post, etc., are reviewed by the team, or you know what I mean? Like if there's anybody that is saying something, yeah, like everybody will agree before you post it, because I guess the problem is some of his videos are an hour long.
Yeah, you can imagine it.
I mean, even with a professional editing team, you're still a couple hours worth of editing, and then somebody to review it for an hour.
Then just have a lawyer with the team say, no, you can't post that. You're gonna have to start over.
Yeah, and it probably kind of defeats the purpose for Bauer, but I think that's probably the only way you get around that, is to say, I will only post it after team approval.
Yeah, or he just simply keeps it out of the locker room, because I did watch his vlog when he was with the Major League Baseball. He was with the Reds, and he did a lot of the similar stuff. He just wasn't in the locker room, and when he was in the locker room, nobody else can be seen outside of his locker. The camera was always only pointed toward him.
Okay.
And I just think that a lot of players still just didn't like that. They didn't like the risk of that being a potential.
There's a lot of footage in the dugout where he's talking in the dugout between
Kevin's,
innings and that kind of stuff. Obviously, a ton of on-field footage, a lot of his pregame ritual and what he does. And
yeah, a lot of that's going to be Major League Baseball. They're going to be like, hey, you know, you're filming our product and you don't have the licensing for this.
Correct.
So they probably have an issue with that. But I don't know, man. I definitely think this is probably one of the reasons why most of the players in the MLB don't want Trevor Bauer on their team.
Yeah, the hot mic issue for sure.
But yeah, let us know in the comments down below, folks. Let us know what you think when it comes to Major League Baseball. We have hit 1,000 subscribers, all thanks to you, folks. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. We are going to honor our commitment there where we mentioned we're going to be giving the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. 5 subscribers are each going to earn $100 each. So if you have not yet, hit that subscribe button. And honestly, just check to see if you're subscribed. Just check on the button. Make sure it's clicked there. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that giveaway. And as always, smash that like button for your boy AJ right over there.
Boom, I appreciate it. And if you're watching on YouTube on one of our short videos, just know this is available as a podcast, wherever you get your audio only. Make sure you like it, rate it, review it. We appreciate all that business on the podcast side.
With all that said, my name is Darren. That is AJ. And this has been a production of the DNA Sports Recap Network.
Till next time.